Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky Loads 15, and in this video we're going to be previewing day 4 of the Galway Festival. Just reflecting on how Galway's gone so far. The first 3 days have been really good for us. At the current time recording, I don't know how our last selection on day 3 of Galway's got on, but we already had a 14-1 winner on the day. We've had a few seconds, and also as well we had a third in the last race with My Silver Nails at 8-1. So we've been doing pretty well over the Galway Festival. We had 2 good days as well on day 1 and day 2, so we've been in good form. Also as well, just a shout out, if you follow me, I'm going to be at Glorious Goodwood tomorrow with BBC Radio Sussex, so if you want to see what I'm getting up to throughout the day, go and follow me on Twitter, my handle being at LuckyLoads15. So enough of me waffling on, we'll get straight into the Galway selections, and it's in the afternoon. It actually starts tomorrow in the 140, and I like the horse here called Schmidt, 15-2 bookmakers at the moment, trained by Henry de Bromhead and Rachel Blackmore, booked for the ride. That's a combination that gave us the winner with Black Key. Now this horse finished second on its chase debut, which wasn't a bad performance, and it's going to be going up in trip tomorrow, which I definitely think is a positive and interesting move. It should definitely stay. It's got it in the pedigree. Henry de Bromhead's been in flying form in recent weeks. They're operating at a plus 25% strike rate, so no worries with stable form there, and I could definitely see this one making the frame. And for me, I thought 15-2 wasn't a bad each way bet. We then go to the 215, and I'm really looking at Cadnium to win this race. Thought 5-4 was a fair price at the moment. Trained by William Mullins, Ruby Walsh is booked for the ride. Coming off the back of 2 wins after recent wins at Roscommon and Punchestown, I definitely think it's probably going to win this race tomorrow. William Mullins has been doing really well at the festival so far. His stable as well have had a 52% strike rate in recent weeks, so the top trainer is in top class form at the moment, and really this should just be a penalty kick, so we don't need to waffle on for much longer on that one. We then go to the 250, and I'm going with a horse here called Perfect Soldier, 14-1 bookmakers at the moment, trained by Michael O'Callaghan and Gary Halpin, booked for the ride. This one actually won at the Galway Festival last year on a soft ground over the course and distance, so we know it likes the track and it likes a little bit of cut in the ground. Interesting flat runner, done okay on the flat so far, been going over the jumps and maybe not quite delivered on the promise it might have first had, but still I think it is not badly handicapped tomorrow, and I thought at 14-1 it could potentially go well, and I think could be a good each way bet. So that's going to be the selection there. We then go to the 325, a listed race, and I'm going with a horse here called Hence, 5-1 with bookmakers at the moment, trained by Aidan O'Brien, Shamey Heffernan booked for the ride. Found a group 2 a bit too competitive last time out. I thought going into listed company would be more up its street, still a fair horse, and I thought 5-1 that wasn't a bad selection there. So that's going to be the selection in the 325. We then go to the 4 o'clock with a horse called Minella Times, round about 13-2 shot bookmakers at the moment, trained by Henry de Bromhead, who doesn't have too many with the JP McManus, who colours this rider. Mark Walsh will be taken on tomorrow. Now this horse won at Kilbeggan last time out and is very lightly raced, and I think this horse has been targeted potentially for this race. It's a nice profile of the horse, only 5 years old, so lots of scope for improvement, and I thought 13-2 could be a good one there tomorrow and could maybe be well backed as well. So that's going to be selection there. And then go to the big race of the day in the 435, the Galway Hurdle. And I like the chances here of a horse called Good Thyne Tara, 10-1 bookmakers at the moment. Done us a few favours on the channel in recent months. Trained by Willie Mullins, again, that we've already touched upon. Paul Townend booked for the ride. He's been riding really well. This horse has been improving quite a lot of late, and it's only 8 years old, so there's still quite a bit of potential in it, and I thought really had a good chance. It ran in some good races at Punchestown, where it finished third in the Punchestown Mares Hurdle. Also as well, it's been going quite well before then, coming off of a couple of wins, so really the arrives are in good form, and I thought 10-1 was a solid price. We know it stays over the trip by Cave Tara as well, so it doesn't mind a little bit of cut in the ground, and for me that's going to be the selection there. We then go to the 515, and I'm going with a horse here called Sonnetist, 25-1 bookmakers at the moment, trained by David Evans, who's fancying this horse's chances tomorrow. He said it's got maybe a good chance. Gary Carroll's booked for the ride. This horse's handicap mark has been slipping through the weights in recent times. Had some promise as a 2 and 3 year old, but hasn't quite delivered as a 4-year-old this season. Like I said, been going down the weights. Ran in a fair race for the grade last time out at Hamilton, and I think going over to Ireland tomorrow speaks volumes that this trainer David Evans is quite confident confident that it's got a good run, and I thought 25 to 1 bookmakers tomorrow could be not a bad selection in this quite competitive but weak race. So Sonnetist with a good draw tomorrow and still one, I thought had a good chance. Then go to the 550, and not really anything to fancy here, but I thought Dr. Duffy could be not a bad selection. 11 to 4 bookmakers at the moment, trained by Charlie Burns. Richie Deegan booked for the ride, taking £5 off, finished third on its only appearance so far at Punchestown, and ran quite nicely that day, and maybe that experience could come to use. So they're going to be the selections for day 4 of the Galway Festival. Let us know if you've been following my tips, if you were on Black Key, like to know. So yeah, that's all I got to say really. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel here at LuckyLoads15. You can also follow me on Twitter at LuckyLoads15, my handle. Also as well, please, you can follow my work on the punters page. Also as well, you can listen to BBC Radio Sussex tomorrow if you really want to hear my voice on live radio. So yeah, that's all I got to say tomorrow. Please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners, and we'll be seeing you soon.